Good day, I'm Stacey Ann Smith, and this is your Jis News for Monday, August 5. As government continues its pursuit of a credible economic program, both houses of Parliament have passed legislation to make revenue measures introduced on April 1 permanent. The lower house approved the Income Tax Amendment Act 2013 on July 30, with the Senate following on July 31. It gives statutory force to several revenue measures that had already been brought into effect by way of provisional orders.
Those provisional orders only have a temporary life, and this bill will supersede them and concretize the relevant tax measures by amending the legislation, which is the Income Tax Act, before the provisional orders expire.
It does not represent new or additional measures.
The changes include raising the income tax threshold for individuals from $441,168 to $507,312, which the Finance Minister says has resulted in roughly 3,000 additional persons being relieved of the tax. It also harmonizes the provisions of the Income Tax Act with those of the recently amended Revenue Administration Act to facilitate more effective and efficient exercise of the powers of Tax Administration Jamaica. The bill also permanently records in the Principal Act certain measures which date back as far as 2005. Ground has been broken for the expansion of a new hemodialysis unit at the Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James. This follows the signing of a $38 million contract for the expansion of the unit. Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson says the hemodialysis unit will now increase the number of workstations at the Cornwall Regional Hospital from 18 to 27. That will also increase the hospital's treatment capacity from 220 to 325 dialysis patients each week. Meanwhile, the Cornwall Regional's kitchen has been refurbished and a new standby generator installed by the National Health Fund. In the meantime, 5 new pharmaceutical drugs have been added to the NHF drug list. The additions benefit persons receiving treatment for hypertension, vascular and ischemic heart disease. Trumblat AS tablets, which treat ischemic heart disease and vascular disease, will be subsidized at $46.03 per tablet. Coverum tablets and Calchek A have both been added for the treatment of hypertension and ischemic heart disease. X-Forge as well as X-Forge HCT were also added for the treatment of hypertension. The NHF provides subsidies for the many presentations of these drugs. Details of subsidies for these and other items are available on the NHF website, nhf.org.jm. The Caribbean Maritime Institute CMI signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Jamaica Public Service Company recently to retrofit 30 lamps along the PALISADOES strip and replace them with L.E.Ds. Installation under the $7,500 initiative is expected to take place over the next 2 weeks and result in a 50% reduction in energy usage. Energy Minister Philip Polwell pointed out that it was costing $200 to retrofit the lamps compared to $700 for a new lamp. The long-term vision, therefore, is to do a similar conversion of the more than 105,000 street lamps across the island.
And this has to be the approach we take for the transformation that we seek in relation to electric energy.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller is encouraging Jamaicans to stop squatting on lands that are believed to be idle.
Don't capture our land. We have plans for them. What is not for agriculture is to provide housing for our people. And we're not into people breaking the law.
The Prime Minister was speaking recently at the Housing Ministry's Jubilee 50 for 50 housing initiative. Under the initiative, 50 homeowners had their final mortgage payments written off and received titles to their properties. And finally, Independence activities officially kicked off Sunday with a National Independence Thanksgiving Church service. Scores of government officials along with other stakeholders gathered at the Bethel Baptist Church in St. Andrew to celebrate Jamaica's 51st year of independence. While giving her address, Minister of Youth and Culture Lisa Hanna emphasized the importance of this year's theme.
The theme for Independence this year, celebrating Jamaica, triumphant, proud, free, calls on us to consider the hurdles we have cleared as a nation, the pride we must continue to display in ourselves and in our achievements, as the many freedoms which we have been able to secure by our forebears and which many of us sometimes take for granted.
Meanwhile, the annual Grand Gala event this Independence Day will formally close out Jamaica 50 celebrations, which began last year. It will be staged at the National Stadium starting at 5 p.m. with the gates to be opened from 1 p.m. With the seating at the stadium limited, organizers are promising that this year's live televised showing of the gala will be better than ever. And that's it for Jis News Today. I'm Stacey Ann Smith. Thank you for watching.